All right. Welcome to class, everyone. I'm hoping that you remember to bring a ball and your bum. That's what we're going to work on today. All right. So as you have a seat on the floor, thank you. You've probably heard of, seen, or even done a lot of ball work on your muscles. There are things like the melt method, trainers will give you massage balls and the like. And today's class, I just wanted to delve a little bit deeper into some of those concepts. Okay? Now, one of the things that I don't like to see all the time, although I've done it myself, is that people immediately take the ball and put it on their bum. And I don't find that to be as effective. And I think that you know why. There's no warm up. So without warming up that area, you're essentially using the ball to warm up with. That's like not necessarily the best thing. So let's go ahead now. Take a deep breath, inhale and exhale. Grab hold of that ball just behind that left knee. So there it is, capture it, hug it there. You'll feel the activation of your hamstrings. And then draw that left knee forward and then kick back, forward and back, please. Forward and back. The intention here is not strength, it's warm up, okay? Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Perfect. Just another 10 seconds or so, just to start getting the circulation into that area, getting our muscles firing. And I think more importantly, to wake that area up so that we can hear it better. Perfect. 3, 2, and 1. Now I want you to really pay attention to this range. Kick that left knee back. Good. And you can really feel that bum firing, right? Let's lower that left knee and lift that left knee. Lower that left knee and lift that left knee so that we can feel that firing even better. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Thank you so much. Obviously, second side. Please grab hold of that ball. Lean over on the other side. Let's go back and forth. Just a nice little warm up, warming up the back, warming up the bum, warming up that hip. Inhale and exhale. 10 to 15 seconds. Thank you. Inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale and exhale. Make sure that you reach far back enough with that heel so that you can feel that bum working. Maybe 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Kick back as far as you can. Feel that activation of your bum. You can literally touch it with your hand. Lower and lift. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. And take that ball away. Okay? So let's locate the area of the bum that we would like to affect. As you're laying down here on the hip, you can feel essentially the head of the femur. There's a bone. If you lift up your left knee now and lower the left knee, you can feel a portion of your bum engaging and disengaging, right? This is glute maximus and medius, maybe even gemella. And that's where I'd like us to put the ball. So go ahead now, come on up and place that ball in that area. Yee-haw. Now the first thing I would suggest that you do is nothing. Relax down here, inhale and exhale. A lot of times people will engage with the ball and they'll start rubbing around and doing stuff instead of simply listening. Take a moment now and listen to what you're doing. Inhale and exhale. Have you ever cooked a meal but never tasted it and at the end you're surprised by how it tastes? I don't want that to happen here. I want you to taste as we go. So as you take a deep breath, inhale and exhale, feel what's happening. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, I had to realize that I was actually clenching against the ball. So I'm going to take a deep breath in, a deep breath out, and let go, and let yourself sink into the ball. So a lot of times, people will engage and do all these fancy tricks and everything like that while their bum is engaged. And that's not as useful. The better you can disengage your bum and let the ball sink into the deeper layer, the more effective the work will be. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Some of you may even find that holding yourself up like this is counterproductive. So if you'd like to, feel free to come down. Awesome. So the ball is staying in essentially the same place, except that I'm feeling it a lot more, but I'm working a lot less. Now, I want you to really elevate the feeling and de-elevate or decrease the amount of work that you do. So we're feeling this a lot. Take a deep breath, inhale and exhale. Let's lift the leg more with the intention of increasing the sensation. Not for the sake of doing work, but increasing the sensation, okay? So inhale, lower, and exhale, lift. And continue there while I speak to distract you. The intention of the lower and the lift, is to increase the sensation, not to, literally work the muscle, okay? So increase the sensation and utilize the movement to help you to relax. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale, maybe another 10, 9, 8, 7, nice, my pants are slippery, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Thank you. And now, as you rest that left leg, try to really examine how your bum feels now. Hopefully, it is not clenching, nor should it be feeling bruised. In fact, maybe it feels a bit more relaxed, okay? Gently lift that left knee, and now let's activate the bum in a different way. We're just gonna straighten and bend. Now for me, as I go through that range of motion, my bum is turning on and off dynamically. And I want you to be able to try to remain relaxed throughout the entire range of motion. It's not a single spot. Just moving your leg isn't going to do it. It's your ability to relax through the entire range that will get you the best results. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let's go now for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently lengthen that leg and rest and feel it. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, certainly, I can feel my body better able to relax. I can feel my body better able to allow the ball to sink deeper. Now, some of you are going to get to the point of, well, I can't really get any more. So since the decrease of challenge has occurred, the level of sensation has decreased as well, and it's not beneficial. So let's increase the level of challenge so that the sensation level goes up commensurately. Gently draw that left ankle on top of the right knee or thigh and go ahead and lean. And you'll notice here, just by doing that, by applying a bit more leverage and weight, you're able to get more sensation. Don't use that sensation to bolster your ego or to make you think that you're tough. You don't need to prove it. But rather use that sensation to help you to, use that challenge to help you to increase the sensation and your awareness. Because if you can relax in this position, relaxing without the ball and relaxing laying down will be a piece of cake, right? So we're literally doing resistance training for our relaxation abilities, okay? Inhale and exhale just for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep that left ankle there. Gently lift your bum, take the ball out. And perhaps you've done these classes with me enough to know that what I prescribe after that myofascial release, yes, is a bit of effleurage. It's your bum, you're allowed to touch it, and you can get it to release. But a nice little stretch, a rehabilitative stretch is indicated as well. Gently take this right knee toward you. And feel how that feels. So in and around the area where the ball was, we are now getting this nice little stretch. And I'd like to say that's an innovation on my part. I'm not egotistical enough to think that I'm the only one or I'm the first one. But what I will say is that I don't find it common enough. I find that people will typically get information to roll on the ball, or your trainer or other programs will say roll it out. But there's never this idea of stretching to take advantage of the work with the ball. So realize that you're doing something pretty special here. If this is good for you, feel free to stay. If it's available to you, grab hold of this left foot, grab hold of this left knee, hug it toward you, and then go ahead and straighten that right leg. So now you can see how we're doing a supine pigeon pose. So if we were facing downwards in normal pigeon, we would be in prone. This is supine, we're on our back. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead and manipulate your left leg and hip a little bit, and realize that in concert, as I said, commensurately, the ball work, the stretch work, and now this mobilization work can do an awful lot for your bum. Inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale. Were you one of those students who enjoyed me telling you why we do what we do so that you can get a better idea of it, so that your understanding can motivate your practice? I hope so, because I certainly was, right? Some people just like being told, stick the ball there, hang out for 10 seconds. I think that that lack of curiosity can sometimes be a detriment, because you're not knowing what you're doing and why you're doing it. Last suggestion, if it's available to you, inhale, come on up. Some of you will be able to hook the elbow around, and draw down there. If that's you, wonderful. If it's not you, don't worry about it. There's no judgment at all. Okay, let's hold here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and relax down. You can literally feel with your left hand, this is your bum, feel with your right hand, this is your bum. And I don't know about you, I'm not putting words in your mouth, but I can feel a difference, okay? I hope you can feel a difference too. Thanks everyone. Let's move on to that second side, okay? So if you recall, we're leaning down to the right now and we're lifting up the right leg. Lower and lift, and you can feel the area of the bum that we're going to be working on. Gemella piriformis, sorry, not gemella piriformis. Yeah, gemella piriformis, glute maximus, glute medius. Straighten and bend, lower lift, feel it? Good. Lift up now and place the ball into that area. But before you do a thing, figure out what it feels like. Now, if this is too intense, like it's a little intense for me right now, I'm going to lay down, and I'm going to consider it. I use this joke a lot, and I really mean it because it's a tragedy. We live in a ready, fire, aim culture. People almost aim after they take the shot. I don't want that to happen right now. First, we identified the area, we aimed by lifting and lowering, and now, after the ball is there, we're taking a moment to survey the experience so that we can continue to move forward with intelligence. Inhale and exhale. Also, sometimes it just takes a matter of time. You'll notice that your bum is relaxing at least a little bit. Okay? Perfect. Go ahead now, lift that right leg. Why? Because we want to do work? No. Because we want to increase the sensation through challenge. Lower inhale, exhale, lift. 10. See how it increases sensation through that challenge? Continue to relax throughout this challenge. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Maybe bend and straighten, please. 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold there, please. Big breath in, big breath out. Now, as you lower, feel the changes and the differences. Pretty cool. By going through the resistance training of trying to relax when it's harder, now when it's not as hard, hopefully relaxation is a bit easier. Got it? Got it? Good. Now, for me personally, on this day, at this given moment, my bum is not tending to relax as well. So I'm going to continue to relax it here. Now, I can do that, or I can proceed, like you may want to as well, to cross my right ankle over my left thigh and use my weight change, my distribution and leverage,
to increase the challenge of the ball. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let me distract you with this. Have you ever had the radio or something on that was too quiet for you to ignore? So it's just loud enough to be on the edge of your sensory perception, but not loud enough that you could shut it out. Because your mind was kept on getting triggered. If it were just a little bit louder, you could say, oh, that's just the radio, and shut it out. Sometimes that can be the work here. If it's just on the edge of that bad area, your muscle can't really relax easier. However, if you increase the challenge a little bit, then your muscle will get the message and do it a little bit easier. It depends. And there's no harm in exploring. Right now, my bum, it's relaxing better with the increased challenge. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. I hope it is for you as well. Ask politely. Another thing to do when you're here is to take note of where else do you feel it. When the ball is pressing into your bum, does it radiate? Does it travel down toward the knee? Does it radiate? Does it travel up toward the back? Left or right? In or out? Like deeper in the body as opposed to superficial in the body. Take note of that. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. For me, I know I'm relaxing when the work starts at a very pinpoint, localized area, and then it becomes diffuse. It starts to spread out into a larger area. That, to me, is a sign of relaxation. If it remains in a very sharp, small spot, that's me being tighter. The smaller the spot indicates, to me at least, that it is more engaged, as opposed to a diffuse experience, which suggests disengagement. So that's how you can tell if you're relaxing. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Thank you. Keep that foot up here, remember. Gently take the ball out.
Reach around, if you don't mind, thigh or knee, and take the sort of figure 4 stretch, remember? And when we do this, we're getting this nice little pull and stretch through the bum. That is what I don't see as often as I like. This intentional stretching immediately after the roll. So when someone rolls out into class, they'll typically go to the other side and then they'll go to another side. I tend to like to roll one side, stretch that side. Roll the other side, stretch that side. I find that to be more beneficial. Now, that won't always be the case, but it's something for you to try and determine if it's effective for you. Thank you. Big breath in and a big breath out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. If it's available to you, grab hold of the right ankle and the right knee and start to extend that left leg. And as I told you, this is a supine pigeon pose. See, it looks exactly like pigeon except you're on your back, which is why I jokingly call it dead pigeon. If it's appropriate for you, hug that knee in, hug that ankle in so that you can get that good stretch to the bum. Big breath in, big breath out. And then I was manipulating it left and right, up and down, in and out in an attempt to get to the area where the ball was affecting it. Because I want to increase the quality of the work by adding this second layer of complexity. Continue there and I'll distract you again with a story. Have you ever made soup stock from bones? So people will tend to take bones and boil them, maybe add a bit of salt, pepper, or mirepoix to create a stock. Lovely. But perhaps even more lovely is when you take the time to roast the bones first. So you take the bones of the fish, of the chicken, of the pork, or the beef, toss them in the oven, get them browned first. And then, along with the fond and everything else, scrape that into the pot and then boil that into the stock. And what happens is that you get quite a different depth of flavor. So if you can imagine, we roasted with a ball and now we're boiling and getting this to add another level of complexity to our bum. I guess in both enterprises, what you're trying to do is tenderize a big piece of meat, right? Ha ha. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Consider please reaching up, grabbing hold of the ankle or the knee or not, and laying down there. Oh, really focus on that bum. If you're getting too much knee here, or if it's hurting something, back off and just hang out a little bit longer. Really focusing on getting that bum to let go, okay? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Thank you so much. Gently release. Step the feet down and compare your bums. It's pretty awesome. Maybe lift up the bum, engaged, lower the bum, disengaged. Oh, yeah. Maybe rock the hips left and right. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. So that is how I wanted to show you that when we roll, I'll do this. When we roll, on this occasion the bum, but other areas as well, make sure that you're aiming first by locating the muscle structures involved. Place the ball there, get a sense of what's happening, and then increase the workload for the sake of increasing sensation. Not being on the ball and doing work is not the point. The ball is there to increase the sensation so that we can improve our capacity to relax, at least in the context of this work. Okay? And then I would do that process on one side and do that process on the second side. And as a result, I feel like you get quite a bit further ahead. Okay? And maybe for those of you who've been with me for 10 years, but certainly for those of you who've been with me for 2 years, I actually repeat this process on the regular. I just vary it and tell different jokes. For example, I'd like you to locate, please, the area between your knee and the top of your femur, just at the hip here. So this is your iliotibial band, right? The ilium and the tibia. And if you put your hand here and just straighten and bend, man, that's freaking tight, okay? Gently and easy, please, take the ball to the floor and allow the lateral aspect of your quadricep to lay on the ball. And I'd like you to just go ahead and rest on it, and you can lean or whatever you'd like, and yep, that's tight, okay? That's very tight. Don't do anything more than try to relax. Inhale and exhale. I don't know why I'm so metaphor-y today. Have you gotten to the point where instead of doing the basic math in your head, you reach for the calculator? So the tip comes and you reach for the calculator instead of trying to do it at your head. I intentionally make my effort of doing it first in my head. The reason why is that, like this leg, I don't want to grow dependent on the ball or the calculator. I want to try to relax on my own. So when was the last time you tried to focus on and relax your quadricep or your iliotibial band? It's probably been a while. Here, we can kind of delve into that process a little bit by relaxing here on the ball without doing anything else. So we just take a deep breath, inhale, a deep breath, exhale, and feel it. Got it? Okay. Let's say that, that's not as productive as you want it to be, as you need it to be. Consider, please, stacking the knees. Oh, ha, ha. Yeehaw. I find that to be very hot for me. Inhale and exhale. I could lean forward into it and get a lot of work. Now remember, the ball is pressing into soft tissue and then against the femur, a bone. You're squashing the ball between two hard things. You're squashing the ball, and then between the ball and your bone is the soft tissue, and you don't want to bruise it. You're trying to soften that soft tissue. So let's go there and stay for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently lift. Now, since this whole area is a band and it is a little bit harder, I'd like you to maybe move the ball toward the knee and rest there. I want you to think of that IT band like a strap of leather. It doesn't actually stretch. It can soften, but it cannot stretch. It will snap before it stretches. So we can't do our thing of stretching the area. We're going to mobilize it to get the circulation going and get the benefit. But in the case of the IT band, no stretching happens. It's a leather band. Inhale and exhale. Fold a little bit. Get into that work. Beautiful. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, this might actually be too intense because again, it's a ball being pressed into a bone. So let's back off a little bit. What if we lay on our back, take that ball out to the left. Are you guys texting me? Making sure. No, good. Out to the left and lay your IT band on it there. Now, right now, my left heel is suspended. Okay, I'm going to lower my left heel and I'm going to breathe and feel what it's like. Now, I'm going to try to, on this occasion, massage by letting my left leg rock a little bit, left and right. So maybe this is the rolling situation that you're talking about. On this occasion, we're doing something called cross fibering. The muscle runs from hip to knee, right? We're going perpendicular to it. We're crossing those fibers. And the opportunity there is to hopefully encourage a release of those fibers, hence the cross fiber moniker. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale, thank you. Notice where the ache is. Is it localized just to where the ball is making contact with your leg? Does it transmit toward the foot? Does it transmit up toward the back? For me, when I listen, I can feel it radiating down into my leg. That's useful information. Inhale and exhale. Thanks, everyone. Let's go ahead and lift and take the ball maybe a little bit closer toward your knee. I'm going to straighten and bend my left leg. Oh, not because it's going to improve anything other than sensation. The more sensation you have, the more awareness you have, right? Big breath in, big breath out. You can't solve a problem without knowing the dimensions, the scope, the nature of a problem. You can't fire a gun intelligently without aiming first. And unfortunately, that is not what we want sometimes. Sometimes we just want to do something and fire the gun randomly into the air. Don't do that. Inhale and exhale, please. Big breath in, big breath out. So I'm now letting the area that I worked on initially make contact with the area that I'm working on now. I'm kind of connecting the two dots. That way I'll have a more spacious effect on my iliotibial band. It's a mental exercise. It's not really a physical one. Don't worry about it. But just imagine that the first spot that you did is in fact connected to the second one, because it is, and that connection is helping you to relax the area in between each of those spots, each of those two spots. Thank you. I am rocking back and forth, cross-fibering, mindful that if the ball is pressing into my bone very hard, I could crush the soft tissue, and that's not what I want. It's not what you want either. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Now remember, I said we can't stretch it. I would like to stretch it, but this structure we cannot. So gently lift up that left thigh and knee, and like I said, effleurage. Give it a good little rub down. Oh yeah. Okay, maybe straighten and bend. Give it a little bit of light massage. That activation helps to really circulate things and will help to improve the longitudinal as well as the immediate effect of the work. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Oh, I don't know about you, but I literally feel better. I'm hoping that you will get some of that effect. Second side, okay? So if you recall, there's the knee, there's the ilium, iliotibial band, lateral aspect of the thigh. I'm going halfway in between and I'm resting. It's very hot. I don't need to do anything else other than notice, wow, that's very tight and it sucks. So I'm just gonna inhale and exhale and breathe and do my darndest to relax. This is the figuring out the tip without a calculator spot, remember? Big breath in, big breath out. Use the experience that you had with your bum to motivate your work here with the IT band. Soften as best you can. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, oh man, it's tight, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly up. Take the ball up toward the knee perhaps and come on down there. A little word on the ball. The reason why I give people therapeutic balls of a specific texture is that it's hard enough to feel, but not so hard that you'll damage. See, these tennis balls I would say that I'm a relatively hard case, and so they're quite hard even for the normal individual. Plus they're wool and it makes them a bit slippery sometimes, as you could see, and that's a challenge. The rubber sort of softer therapeutic ball that I give you, that's what I prefer. But again, don't be slave to that. If you don't even have a ball, use balled up socks. Something is better than nothing, okay? Inhale and exhale. You're looking to encourage your release. Once again, thinking about connecting the dots from the first position to the second position to help you let go. Continue here, please, for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hey, thanks so much. Now, like I said, some people are going to find this to be difficult, especially if we're going to do it over a longitudinal period. Remember what I was saying, that doing it more regularly and more frequently is more important than doing it for a really long time, okay? So if we can do this more regularly, more frequently, then it's a better practice. To encourage that, let's make it, quote unquote, easier. Go ahead and lay on your back, please. Oh, yeah. Locate that halfway spot, lay down, and let that right leg be up there. Now, if I suspend my ankle and I straighten and bend, that is serious, serious stuff. Maybe too much. So go ahead and bend and relax there. Inhale and exhale. Now, I know straightening and bending is a lot of sensation, but maybe too much. It's like getting yelled at. Could you imagine learning a new software from someone through a megaphone? It's too loud. You can't learn when you're being yelled at. Here, it's quite low and at an appropriate volume for me to relax. If I ever want to turn the volume up, what I can do is just kind of move my right leg back and forth, cross-fibering against the iliotibial band. Bearing in mind that the hard ball and my hard femur is, they're directly compressing the soft tissue, so you don't want to bruise it, right? Just enough. Big breath in and a big breath out. 10, 9, 8, see, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Thank you. I'm going to move that ball from this position to a little bit higher on my knee. And I'm going to relax. Straightening and bending, maybe it's okay for some people. It's too intense for me right now. I'm going to lower down and I'm going to allow myself to cross fiber. Now remember, you're trying to connect the first position to the second position so that all that space in between is also signaled to relax, right? You have an end point and you have a beginning point. And now that space in between will hopefully be also lent to a better relaxation. Inhale and exhale, please. Ooh, this side is so tight, I am twanging the muscle, right? What I mean by that is that the muscle fiber, if you imagine a string, is so taut, I can just go pluck at it and twang. I am twanging it. Now, twanging is okay, but don't go overboard. Big breath in, big breath out. You want to get to the spot where you're kind of just going and pushing the muscle fiber left and right, as opposed to twang, twang, right? Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Good. Just relax and release. Soften. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. No stretching, remember. IT band is a bit of leather. We gently draw up here and we go ahead at, oh yeah, give it a nice little rub. Break it up a little bit, a little to this, maybe straighten and bend. Beautiful. Now, as I sit here, I know that my outer bums, gemellopiriformis, have been nicely addressed. My IT bands have been addressed. Super nice for me. I think it's a lot nicer. I think my function will be better. I hope yours will be too. Okay? We're moving on to the left side. Now, if you were to come up on top of your knees and you found your rib cage, you would find that those are your ribs, and then just below that, again, is the head of the femur. So there's your waist bone, the ilium, and then there's the head of the femur, and then there's that space in between, okay? That's what I want us to address today. So rib cage, hip bone or ilium. Below that is the space, and then below that is the head of the femur. I would like to put the ball into that space. Okay? So gently and easily, please lay to the left and take that ball above the femur head, below the ilium on the lateral aspect. Ho, ha, he. There's rotators there. There's a whole bunch of muscle structures, and it is freaking tight on me. I'm going to ask very politely to continue to relax. If it's too intense for you,
You can lay down like I am right now. If it's not intense enough for you, maybe you could lift that left leg. That's up to you. You could do it with a straight leg or a bent leg. For me, like I said, if I do it too much, I won't be able to release. So I'm hanging out here. Instead of gathering more sensation by increasing the challenge, I'm gathering more sensation via time. Now, since the bone isn't directly behind the structure, that means that I'm not compressing soft tissue between the ball and the bone. That means it's safer to be here for a little bit longer, which I'm going to allow myself to be. I just felt my low back and hip relax. Consider please straightening that left leg and seeing if you can get into a bit of a tree pose. Oh, very interesting. So your goal here is to relax your left hip, relax your left thigh and your right foot into this tree. Soften your low back. It's a dynamic sort of balancy thing. And the more you relax, the better off you'll be. Big breath in and a big old breath out. So interesting, because as I release this lateral aspect of myself, I can completely feel my low back releasing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Thank you so much. Gently and easy, please consider straightening and bending that left leg maybe if you'd like to. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Gently take the ball out. Oh. And what I'd like you to do now is to grab hold of this left knee and pull this left knee to the right a little bit. You'll feel a bit of twist, a little bit of pull right in there. Yep, that's the work. Remember I told you a bit of stretch? Yeah, inhale and exhale. So as I draw my left knee to the right, I can maybe drop my right knee to the left, and I'll get a bit of twist and a bit of pull into that area. Beautiful. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now, it might be more effective for some of you to actually roll, take that left thigh down and roll up here. And now what I'm doing is I'm getting, again, that left space where the ball was, and I'm getting a bit more stretch out of it. Can you see it? Inhale and exhale. Yeah. Fold forward, lean back, twist as you see fit. The intention here is not to twist your back and to stretch and rotate there, but to get a good stretch through the bum. I can feel with my right hand that the texture of the muscle there is being tightened. Utilize the information and release that you got from the ball to help you to relax that tightened area now. Thank you for this work. Thank you for hanging out with me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, oh yeah, and 1. Check this out. Go ahead and lay back. So the combination of your release bum, IT band, and now this rotator here, oh, feel that? Check it out. Your left side should feel like gold. The right side, not quite gold, but silver. You'll probably feel a lack of range and a lack of feedback, but this left side, oh, it's almost lubricated. It's lubricious. Thank you so much. Let's do that on the second side, okay? Slowly up. So what we're going to do is find our right elbow, and I'll mention it again. So what we have here is your rib cage, then we run into the ilium, and then above that is the
the head of the femur, the condyle actually. So ribs, waist bone, below that is where we want to go, and then just below that is the head of the femur. Come over to the right side. Get on top of it, get it below that waist bone, above the head of the femur. Hi, it is super hot for me right here. So I'm finding that this is actually too intense on my elbow. So I'm going to go ahead and lay down. Inhale and exhale. Like I said, imagine being taught how to do something through a megaphone. It doesn't work. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Big breath in, big breath out. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Good. I'm saying that more for myself than you, apparently. And now I'm just reminding myself to let go through my hip. Oh, there goes my low back. Beautiful. It just softened. Isn't it curious how releasing this area releases your low back? Not technically, if you can see the structures, but it is almost a miraculous thing. Just by releasing here, that your low back gets better. Big breath in and a big breath out. Thank you. As I said, I am increasing the sensation via time rather than challenge. If you need to, lift that knee, straighten and bend, if that's your cup of tea, right? I don't happen to need that. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Good. And again, since the ball is not being pressed into a bone directly, the soft tissue between the ball and the rest of your body isn't being traumatized. That's the word, actually. If we're rubbing, like on our IT band, the ball into the bone, then we're going to create excessive trauma if we go too hard or too long. Here, that's not going to happen. Feel free to wiggle your bum around. Oh, that's nice. Inhale and exhale. Oh, that's nice. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Just breathe softly, comfortably, easily. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Thank you. Love it. I love it. Inhale and exhale. Perfect. I want you to note that if you roll toward your belly button, you get that sensation. And if you roll toward your back, you get that sensation. So instead of going higher or lower, because you're bracketed by two bones, right? The ilium and the head of the femur, two bones are there and the ball's right in the middle. You can't really go higher or lower like we did before. But what we can do is maybe roll forward, and affect the hip that way and then play with it there. Inhale and exhale. Oh, that's a good spot for me. Or you could roll backwards, where it's more on the bum. So forward here, you're getting into hip flexor region. At the back, you're getting into gluteal regions, glute minimus and the like. Which one do you need to work on? Probably both. Inhale and exhale. So right now I'm focusing on the front of my right hip, right between those two bone structures. Really cool. Big breath in, big breath out. Good. I'm going to hang out here for just another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, amazing. And gently release the bum. Okay, if you recall, I'm going to take my right knee, I'm going to hug it to my left, I'm going to drop my left knee to the right, and I'm going to generate this bit of stretch here. Inhale and exhale. Since you're doing it by hand, it's not going to be as powerful, but that's okay. You can straighten and bend. You're just feeling like this area where we just had the ball is stretching a bit. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Listen to me. Maybe roll to the right. Land that knee, land that hip, and continue to roll the hip, and you'll get a bit more stretch. Oh yeah, I feel it. You can go forward, you can go back, whatever it is you need to do to get that stretch effect. Big breath in. Oh yeah, big breath out. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale.
Ooh. You might also recall I've used words like, active phase, focused phase, and passive and restorative phases, right? Yeah. When we're doing work like this, that doesn't go out the window, but it's not as prevalent. But they're also in mind, trust me. It's just a different style of class. But I mention it because now what we're going to do is we're going to use a bit of passive work to encourage additional release. And what's going to happen is we're going to reduce the sensation a lot and increase the time a lot so that you can play with getting better at doing the tip, being able to do some more practical relaxation without severe or very dramatic intervention. What does that mean? All right, just lay on your back, please. Big breath in, big breath out. Go ahead and lay on your back. Good. What you're going to do is lay on your back, take that left ankle, cross it over the right thigh. Thank you. And now drop everything over to the right. Ta-da! It shouldn't be any super big stretch, nothing super crazy. However, what I'd like you to do is to pay attention to this left thigh and knee. Inhale and exhale, drop that left knee toward your right ankle. So my left knee now travels down toward my left ankle, and I'm asking it to let go. Oh. So my whole hip area here has to respond by relaxing and releasing. If this is no good for you, feel free to lengthen through that right leg and continue that work where you're dropping down that left knee. Otherwise, this might be more appropriate. Inhale and exhale, relax that left leg. You can even use your left hand to remind you to relax. Think of where the ball was at the bum. Think of where the ball was at the IT bands. Think of where the ball was here, especially here at the side. If you take your left hand, you can feel the area where we had the ball quite active. So what I want you to do now is, without the ball, just close your eyes, breathe, and passively relax into this. The opportunity for injury is extraordinarily low. The opportunity for change is extraordinarily high. And here's a little bit of my philosophy, my theory behind this particular part of the practice. So what if you can only relax if you're told? Well, the bad part is that means you're only going to relax when you're told. So if you can only relax with the ball, that's not very useful at work. But what if we practice this relaxation with less intervention, with just a little bit of focused breathing and not even a whole lot of pain? Well, that means that hopefully with just a bit of focused breathing and not a whole lot of pain, you'll be able to relax. And then as we decrease those practices, then your capacity to release will increase because you won't need those interventions anymore. I guess the eventual goal is for it to become literally a muscle memory, a body memory, so that your body remembers by default just to relax, to soften. And that's why I'm holding you here for this extended period of time. Don't worry, it's just for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing, everyone. Thank you. Gently release that left leg, step it down, cross that right ankle over the left. Beautiful. Rock everything to the left and drop that right knee toward the left foot. If you need to, straighten here, depends on your body. The key here is for you to, again, remember this, feel around for that where the ball was, and when you drop that knee, you'll notice, oh, it's tight. And your goal there is to drop the knee and let this area relax. It is a passive stretch. The challenge is brought on with the posture. It is an opportunity for you to encourage a thought pattern, a behavior pattern of the muscles. Big breath in and a big breath out. Big breath in and a big breath out. I've joked about, but I was never really facetious about, this being the hardest part, but also the most important part of some of these classes. Because we're not doing anything, or we're not thinking we're doing anything because we're not suffering, we tend to dismiss the importance of this work. And as a result, we kind of lose sight of it. Just because we can't see it or recognize it doesn't mean it's not important. UV light can burn us badly, and UV light is sometimes beyond the visual spectrum. Have you ever been on a very cloudy day, maybe in the Caribbean or some other places, and still get sunburned? Just because we can't see it doesn't mean it can't hurt us or affect us. Likewise, just because a work or a piece of therapy that we're doing is below a threshold where we can recognize it, it doesn't mean it's not effective. It doesn't mean that it's not going to have the opportunity to make a substantial change in your body. This is why I'm asking you to go below this subsensory threshold, but you can't tell, but the structure of the exercise is still above a therapeutic threshold. It never drops below a subtherapeutic. It's never below a subtherapeutic threshold. Why would you do that? It's always above a therapeutic threshold, but below a sensory threshold. So your goal here is just to relax into it and not cling to the idea that you are not suffering, that you're not in pain, so you must be wasting your time or that you're doing it wrong. That's not the case. Instead, listen closer. The better you are at listening, the more awareness you will have, and the more likely you'll participate in these therapeutic activities to garner these benefits. Inhale and exhale, please. Inhale and exhale. I'm counting down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to go and stretch the other side. Here's how it goes. Gently, easy please, walk your left foot out to the left, drop that left knee down to the center. Consider crossing that right ankle or knee on top and relaxing there. If it's too intense, leave the right leg off. But if it's available to you, drop the knees to the floor. It's a different stretch. And you're probably activating now that part of the bum. Remember we did the side hip? But now that part of the bum that we stretched, that's in play. Good. Inhale and exhale. And we are once again doing what I discussed, where we're going to a very low level of stimulation or sensation so that we can practice letting go and not being as dependent upon it. Hot yoga is very interesting. And now I fell into this trap. I felt like I wasn't working out unless I was dripping in sweat, and that's why hot yoga can be very addictive. First, let me tell you that hot yoga has an inherently physiologically addictive effect on the body. It's because you didn't die, right? A lot of times when you go into the hot yoga room, there's so many alarm bells going off. It's hot, it's smelly, it's sweaty, I'm working hard, I'm breathing hard. And look, at the end of it, I didn't die. And your body rewards you with, good job, not dying. And it's that neurochemical award or reward that we often crave, not necessarily the work itself. So when we get into this need for that constant hit, whether it's coming from running, cycling, swimming, or hot yoga, it sometimes comes at the expense of our health. Health and that hit are sometimes coincidental, but only up until a point. Sometimes people will sacrifice their health just to get the hit, which is common, silly, and something I certainly have done. How badly have I done this? In Toronto, when I was training for my tennis and my other things, I used to do 3 90-minute classes back to back to back. Because in the middle of a tennis match, sometimes they would go for 3-4 hours. And I needed to be capable and smart and able to manage the humidity and the 45-degree heat in Toronto. So for 4.5 hours, I went through and I practiced hard every week on a Wednesday. And then I had other trainings 5 other times a week. But every week on a Wednesday, 4.5 hours of hot yoga class, full on Bikram. So it's a 40-degree room with freaking carpet. It was nasty. Now, I was much younger and I was training seriously back then. I would not prescribe that now. I sacrificed my health for performance on that occasion. And I don't want you to do that. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Lengthen your legs. Beautiful. Twist over to the other side. Same thing. So my right knee comes on down, my left ankle comes on top, and I'm resting, and I'm feeling that interesting stretch and release through the side of my hip and my bum. Got it? Got it, good. Another way you can look at it is this, the high protein diets and the like, where no vegetables, all you need is heavy protein. Sometimes keto can be like that, right? Any diet for me that prescribes hyper-focus as opposed to intelligent exclusion, it's problematic, right? I think that we work best when we are aware of what our body needs and that those needs change regularly. So if some people are like, I'm on an all grapefruit diet or something like this, if it's slavish and overly restrictive, I have a hard time believing that's going to be the best thing for you. I much prefer diets that have intelligent exclusion, because they're not going to be serving you. That will help to optimize the input of food and calories and nutrition and allow you to operate extremely well. Maybe it bears mentioning, and this is in no way my area, I'm useless when it comes to diet, except for, because of my colitis and other issues, I am fairly well educated on that. But in order for you to operate well in terms of energy levels, rebuilding and healing, you have to have a very appropriate diet to you. So consider seeking assistance. When people want to lose weight, they often come to someone like me first as a trainer, but then I ask them, did you see a dietitian first? Because without the foundation of an appropriate diet, training is lost. You can be the best driver in the world, but if you don't have the gas for it, nothing's going to happen. Okay? Inhale and exhale. Perhaps think about how your diet and your nutrition experience may not be the best for your restorative efforts. High coffee, high sugar, all that sort of thing, contributing to inflammation in the body, making it harder for you to relax, making it harder for you to heal. That's all I'm saying, right? Yes, I come from a yoga background and the like, and yeah. But I'm not saying being vegan or anything like that. I'm saying that being intelligent and being aware is a very good thing. And that sometimes we overlook, I certainly have, we tend to overlook the effects or the counterproductive effects of certain foods, eating times, quantities, to our inflammation response, to our ability to rest, to our ability to heal. And I think that if you're struggling with that, maybe going to see a dietitian would be a good idea. Inhale and exhale, please. Inhale and exhale. Take a moment and remind yourself of the bum work that we did. I'm going to reiterate this. First, we locate the area, lifting and lowering. Then we place the ball there and sense and get a survey of the experience. And then we increase challenge for the sake of increasing sensation. We utilize that sensation to help us to move from a very hot singular point to a more diffuse point, which indicates relaxation and release. And then after that process, we stretch to circulate and to encourage longer lasting, deeper effects. Wash, rinse, repeat. That methodology is the framework for a lot of what we do here together. And it's endless. But it's a recipe that I have found to be quite successful. Inhale and exhale, please. Maybe roll over to your very favorite side so that you can notice how the relaxation of your bum, your iliotibial band, and those rotators, the lateral hips, have affected your low back beautifully, have affected your pelvis beautifully, that you feel more comfortable. But interestingly, also more capable. A lot of times people feel more mobile in this situation. They can feel like they can run, jump, or if they have to, sit at a desk better. So this isn't just to help you to rest, this is help you to be, whether it's resting or active. Okay? Thank you so much for your detailed work today. If there's anything else you would like me to address, let me know. I will continue on, and I'll see you the next day. Take care. Thank you.